Greetings, soul fam. It is your shaman, your sister in spirit, and your friend Alicia here. Happy Monday. Happy Portal Day, everyone. If you haven't noticed, it's June 6th of 2022. The year adds up to 6, which is a portal day for us here. So I hope everybody's feeling good as we exit Mercury retrograde and enter into Saturn retrograde. What does it all mean? I mean, I'm no astrologer, but I have a feeling that Spirit might want to talk a little bit about what this is going to look like for us moving forward. So as it is Monday, we typically go through our little Zen story and then leave a little bit of a room for a message. So for those of you that are tuning in, Grand Rising, drop some comments. For those of you that are watching on YouTube, please like this post, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell for some notifications. Would love to be a part of your weekly routine. Some announcements real quick. What do you think about that? Anthony, Devin, and I are going to be out at Sunnie Vibes in Pittsburgh. We are going to be doing our Chakra Journey, which is super exciting. We got that rewilding retreat out in July. You guys cannot miss this. It is going to be so amazing. So check out the event, which is linked in my description below. All right. We're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff. I'm really excited to be teaching a manifestation class. For those of you that have been rocking with me for some time, I totally revamped this manifestation class. So come out, check it out. It's going to be a lot less wordy. I've been taking a lot of the education approach for a while. And this time I decided to step into facilitation. So you guys are going to be like immersed inside of the manifestation experience. So that way you can continue to do the exact thing that we're going to be doing at this retreat, integrate it a part of your daily, weekly routine, and really watch all of the things start to flow into your field. Okay. So let's get into the story. What do you think? The story is called Go With the Flow. This tale tells of an old man who accidentally fell into the river rapids, leading to a high and dangerous waterfall. Onlookers feared for his life, and miraculously he came out alive and unharmed downstream at the bottom of the falls. People asked him how he managed to survive. I accommodated myself to the water, not the water to me. Without thinking, I allowed myself to be shaped by it, plunging into the swirl. I came out with the swirl, and this is how I survived. So a nice little short tale. So immediately after that tale, I hear a song that I wrote a few years back that I shared on my personal Facebook page. It was called Mountain. And the song says, on my path, I came to a mountain. Will I climb it? Will I even try? Wasted time with overthinking. Damn this mind. Always working overtime. Oh, this beautiful mind. Heard a whisper in my soul telling me, baby, just put one foot forward. And then the next verse says, oh, the climb, what a struggle. Test my heart, test my faith, my soul, and my mind. And I'm battling time. They're slipping these days. The nights fade away. The baby's a toddler, and I can't grow fond of the idea that it's true. But oh, if I keep persevering, and oh, if to my heart I stay true, I will climb to the top of the mountain, and oh, what a powerful view. You know, sometimes I think that we can try to overcomplicate things with our minds. You know, our minds just have all these thoughts that just keep on rolling and rolling and rolling and unfolding inside of us. And that is just a part of the human experience, ultimately. You know, we have these ideas, we have these concepts, we have these wants, and we have these traumas that allow the mind to really begin to think 10 steps ahead, rather than really just allowing ourselves to surrender to the present moment and enjoy what's just here. To lean into gratitude, even if sometimes our mind's telling us to be ungrateful. Like, how do we lean more into like, actually, everything's good? Last week I was feeling a lot like that, where everything in my life was good, but for some reason I was just feeling so ungrateful for it. And what that really gave me an opportunity to do was still check in with how easy it is to fall into negative thinking. Like, in cartoons, they show that depiction of like the angel on one side and like the devil on the other side, or the demon on the other side, and they're kind of conversing. And sometimes because they're talking inside of the ears, we can get caught up inside of that conversation. And I think that that's a beautiful representation of sometimes what happens inside of the mind, because the mind is having that conversation. But which side? And can we balance it out by allowing both sides of self to speak, both the positive side and the negative side? Because there was a part of me that's like, oh my gosh, like, I'm ungrateful, this sucks, and I'm overwhelmed, and this, right? But when the good part of me was speaking, it was saying the good part, which I don't love that term, but here we are. The opposite side of the coin was saying, actually, nothing's wrong. Like, nothing's wrong. You're just kind of chittering inside of negative talk. And the only way that I can really describe this kind of feeling is by becoming the observer. Like, I have to even observe that it's happening in the first place. And that is what meditation does. And I say this all of the time, but it's because sometimes these seeds want to be dropped, right? We can only intellectualize things so far until we have to like put it into action, right? Like, that's what the human experience is about. It's about things manifesting into physical form. So for those of us that might be in this state where, or have been in a state where sometimes we're being too hard on ourselves, where sometimes we are not feeling grateful, maybe when we're feeling melancholy, maybe when we're feeling a little numb, maybe when we feel like life isn't going in the direction that we need to go, it's very important for us to honor that piece of truth, but not to identify it as the absolute and only truth, to know that like, yeah, there is some part of us feeling some kind of way. And there's also a whole other part of us that comes with a whole other kind of wisdom, or a whole other perspective, because you are an infinite being. Yeah, you're multifaceted. And how we want to tap into that is by becoming the observer. So with all of that being said, thank you all for tuning in. This is a short video for me. I had a lot of clients. I had quite a few clients today. So I'm looking forward to taking a minute to clear myself. I'm sure I got my aura spray, spraying myself. But also to get outside and reground a little bit with Mother Nature, kind of let her support this process. And so that might be a message for us as a collective. Right. I hear you. Going with the flow. My tide had to wash up on this page a little bit here before I stepped out. But actually, there's one guide that just stepped forward that wants to speak. And so as much as I want to go outside, let's take a moment to ask, what's going on here? What would you like to share? Okay, so this guide is talking about how he's talking about Saturn. He's talking about how Saturn is like the ruler of like home, of security, of like home and finances and things like that. So as it goes into retrograde, we're going to notice that. Say that again, please. Okay, he's talking about how some of the things that we thought we wanted aren't, or what we thought were, are not actually what we want, or are not actually what it seemed to be. And so some of us might be going through this process where we're kind of having these epiphany, or these aha moments where it's like, oh my gosh, actually that's not that's not what I thought it was. And so naturally we're going to begin adjusting towards a more authentic and accurate, or aligned, I'm hearing is the preferred word, way of life that comes into this concept of like, what does it mean to have certain levels of safety and security inside of our finances, inside of our homes. He wants to talk about how like the home isn't just like the physical space with the four walls and the roof over it. They're also talking about the home of the heart, like the home of the body, remembering that as spiritual beings, that like our body is our real, or is our first and most intimate home. And that home he's talking about is not only consist of like the flesh, but recognizing the intelligence of this temple that we live in. He's talking about the understanding the importance of discovering what's going on deep within the subconscious, deep within the psyche. And so there is almost this that's not the word that you're is there another word to describe what that is? Okay, so initially the word that came forward was like shadow work, but he kind of doesn't like that word. He wants to mainly talk about like it in forms of self-awareness, which is why this concept of like the awareness of the negative self-talk, or like maybe kind of like the downer or the victim, and also which is considered more of like the shadow version of self, and also understanding more deeply the other side of us, the more optimistic, the more creative, the more kind of the word aloof naturally comes to mind. But when I ask him like what is the aloofness really about, he's talking more about like the part of us that can be a little bit more carefree. Oh, that's fascinating. So he wants to bring about like the concept of the yin and the yang. So like even though the we're just going to use this as a form of visualization, because humans really like function well whenever they have something to visualize or like personify. Like even though the angelic voice on the one side is like everything's good, everything's positive, like the aloofness or the innocence can also kind of like bring about like a shadow aspect. So understanding that by that there isn't good and bad side, that there is a light side that can teeter into darkness, and a dark side that can teeter into light. Okay, which is directly represented through the yin and yang. Is there anything else that you would like to say? He's talking about not being afraid, to just being real about these new aha moments and discovery, not to linger too long. This is what quantum leaping is. Once we have the revelation, it's important for us to start taking action towards this revelation. Whenever we begin to invite certain levels of procrastination, what we're doing is we're not taking the opportunity to quantum leap. And with today being a portal day, today would be a great day to start honoring and leaping through this this portal of realignment and truth with self. Okay. And that feels complete. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope that this message resonated with you all. I hope that you have a wonderful Monday and a wonderful week. For those of you that were interested in my healing play day, please keep in touch with me, because there may be something evolving from that. I haven't gotten a lot of interest in terms of on the event page. So if anybody has any questions about that, please let me know. All right. So I'm loving you all. And I will talk to you all soon. Bye. Mm.